live at AUVSI Exponential 2017 at the K. Bailey Hutchison Convention Center in Dallas, Texas. I'm Tom Patton, and my next guest is David Walters. David is with a company called Consortiq, and you're a fairly new company, at least here in the United States, and you've got some interesting things that are dealing with software development, which is your particular area of expertise. So let's just kind of start at the 30,000 foot view and tell us what you've been working on.
Okay, excellent. So Consortiq, we've recently set up offices in Annapolis in Washington, and we obviously have offices over in the UK as well. Consortiq provide ecosystems for businesses, so we enable them to have in-house drone operations. So we provide training, hardware and software support, and we're here for the first time at AUVSI. It's a fantastic, great site, and we're here launching our new software product, CQNet.
And what is CQNet?
CQNet is a flight safety management system. It enables organisations to have an instant insight into their drone operations and where their pilots are flying in real time, and really take hold of everything from a safety point of view, from a ground to airspace level, but also for maintaining aircraft systems as well.
Now, when you talk about they can see where their aircraft are flying, are you talking about a company that has a few aircraft or a few drones that would be outside operating for any one of a number of different missions, and they can just see where those aircraft are?
Yeah, absolutely. We have a fire and rescue company in the UK that are currently using CQNet to manage their operations, and in real time they can deploy fire services to locations where there's a fire. The pilots have an app, so they get an alert, a bit like the old pager style in a way. They deploy a team on site, and in real time they can see where their drones are flying on location.
Without giving away company secrets, how do they do that?
We have a process through the application that they use. The pilots work through their pre-flight safety checklists, and once they are completed, that's what triggers a notification that one of their drones is about to fly.
And then, so what is the advantage of being able to track in real time where the aircraft are?
For multiple reasons, really. Again, from a safety point of view, we're able to detect where pilots are flying, where they should be flying. Is a mission being planned at that location? Is the pilot aware of the risk, the airspace, the ground-based risks in the area that he's flying at that time? And it enables safety managers and commercial managers within their organisations to kind of get a grip, let's say, on their drone operations that are currently going on.
You mentioned also that there's a flight planning aspect to it as well. Is there a way for the drone operator to tell his or her aircraft where they want it to go and then fly a specific mission?
Yeah, so how the system works at the moment, we have a mission template, so the pilot is able to select a location, or an operations team can pre-plan the mission for them. They select the area that the drone will be flying in, and it drills through the airspace data that's available that we have from the FAA, from the local CAA in the UK. It brings in advisories, so before the pilots are even on site, they know whether they can fly or not within that area. We're still working on the actual mission planning from a waypoint planning perspective at the moment, but we have that in development. I hope to have that available soon.
So it keeps track of things like where an area might be geofenced, it keeps track of temporary flight restrictions, those kinds of things. Absolutely. Much like a pilot has to check his NOTAMs. Yeah,
absolutely, and that's one of the reasons we developed this system. The UK and the US, the way the airspace is managed and the regulations is slightly different. In the UK, we have quite a lot of work to go through, and we use multiple sources. Euro NOTAMs for NOTAM information, we're looking at NATs for airspace classification. To plan a mission, we look at maybe 5 or 6 websites to check the weather, again restricted airspaces, but now we have a one-stop shop system where a pilot can go and plan a mission all within one system and have all that information available to him.
Where do you see this as a safety factor? How can you help with integration into the national airspace, for instance, for commercial drones with a software system like yours? Is there a connection that begins to help make inroads into the integration into the NAS?
Yeah, absolutely. We've partnered with Altitude Angel. They're quite a well-known airspace management for drones, let's say, data provider. They're already connected within the UTM structure, infrastructure. It's still a work in progress, but we're able to
Heads?
yeah, that wasn't a drone.
No.
But we're able to help populate that UTM information, but also our pilots that are using our system are notified of hobby users using their free app that they have available operating in our area, because then there could be a conflict of radio transmissions, etc. But then also other commercial operators as well. So again, we're starting to feed back into that UTM. It's still under development, but I think as the development of UAS moves forward, the UTM is going to happen. It has to happen.
You said that Consortiq was just recently moved to the U.S. and opened up a presence in Annapolis. What other businesses is Consortiq in other than the software development for this kind of drone operation?
So probably about 3 or 4 years ago, we started as a CAA training provider in the UK. We've been providing training now to probably 600-700 users a year within the UK, and the commercial operations back in the UK has just rocketed. It's absolutely gone through the roof. So we've had a core requirement to provide training, and as a CAA approved trainer, we can do that. We then started tailoring courses to specific markets. We have a media package, we have a construction package, and we have an emergency service package. So for example, with the fire services, we train them how to use the system more effectively, how to set up the thermal cameras. So now we've moved to Annapolis, we're going to recreate that same structure in the States. Although there isn't a requirement at the moment from the FFA to say you need to have sat X, Y, and Z course, from an insurance point of view, there is a requirement, we believe, where a company is going to have to say, look, you need to set these standards to achieve X, Y, and Z to take on a commercial contract for BP, let's say, or for Shell. They have quite strict auditing processes, and you have to meet a certain level. So again, from a safety aspect, that's where we believe our training is going to come to play.
And from Annapolis, will you grow, you hope, at least regionally and then nationwide?
Yeah, I mean, the plan is East Coast first and then to move across to the West Coast. But so far, it's exciting times.
When you look at how this industry has grown, and it's, I get the impression that it's grown much differently in the UK and in Europe than it has here in the United States. When you look at how this industry has grown, where do you see the UAV industry in a year or 5 years? Can anybody really look that far down the road as quickly as this technology changes?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the billion-dollar question. You know, I mean, the industry has just exploded even in the last 12 months. I started flying back in 2014, and I was operator number 457 in the UK. We're now in 2017, and there's over 4,500 registered commercial operators in the UK. You know, and that's a massive boom. So I think in the next year, it's only going to again increase. But I think also from a governing perspective, there's going to be more tighter controls and more responsibility also on the companies employing operators.
Well, David, thank you very much for taking some time to come over and talk with us about Consortiq. And we wish you the best of luck. It sounds like it's really interesting software, and I hope to be able to stop over to the booth after a while and get a demonstration and see what it actually looks like. But we really appreciate you coming over and taking some time to talk with us.
No, brilliant. Thank you very much.
Aero-News Network's coverage of the Association for Unmanned Vehicle Systems International's XPONENTIAL 2017, live from Dallas, Texas, is brought to you in part by the following sponsors.
In collaboration with NASC, introducing Sonix Aerospace, bringing you the Taros Group 4 UAS, the redesigned Tiger Shark Block 4, and the Subsonics Twin Jet UAS, all derived from flight-proven manned systems, not concepts, real aircraft. More at sonixaerospace.com.
Let Patrick Neal and Associates provide the legal expertise needed to navigate the commercial UAS industry. Whether it be waivers, exemptions, operational plans, or other issues, we can provide the guidance you need to keep flying and building your successful UAS operation. www.droneattorneys.us